Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Dumont's Nitro Red. This fragrance has been getting a lot of attention recently. I'm not really sure where it started. Might have been TLTG reviews, I'm not entirely sure. But I did end up getting this because a lot of people started getting it, and I have to say this is a really solid fragrance, especially for the price. I'm pretty sure it's an eau de parfum. And it comes, and this is a 100 ml bottle. I think that only comes in 100 mls, which is also 3.4 ounces. And you can get it for around 40 bucks. I think I got mine for 40 bucks off Amazon. And it actually looks really, really neat with this kind of leather wrap around it with the gold accents and this thing coming off of it, kind of like Coach Green has. It says Nitro on it. This is just one flanker out of their line of Nitro fragrances. They have like red, blue, green, black. But this is the most popular out of them all. And this one is definitely the sweetest and most kind of youthful of them all. So I'm gonna spray this fragrance on myself and tell y'all what I smell. The atomizer is decent. Not the best, not the worst, for sure. Alright, so this fragrance actually opens up super duper fruity, almost like Afnan 9 PM fruitiness. Definitely some apple and definitely a lot of watermelon. It smells really good. I've heard people describe it as a watermelon Jolly Rancher, and I think that is the most perfect way you can describe this fragrance. Definitely a watermelon Jolly Rancher, maybe with some other fruitiness like some apple, or maybe even like some sugary notes, I'm not entirely sure, like some candy notes. It's super good. Maybe a tiny little bit of like citrus or bergamot, I can't really tell, but definitely as it transitions through the middle notes to the bottom notes, you can definitely tell that it has apple and watermelon. Super duper fruity. It smells really good, super nice. Almost reminds me of Rasasi Hawass. It actually reminds me of Mont Blanc Legend Spirit a good bit, more on the dry down as it kind of goes through to that dry down. And then I have the dry down on my hand right here, and it definitely gets a little bit musky. I'm pretty sure musk isn't a listed note, but it gets a little bit musky and kind of smells very, very similar to Rasasi Hawass. And the opening smells a lot like Afnan 9 PM, and then it kind of smells a little bit like Hawass or Legend Spirit, which makes sense because it's kind of Invictus style. And then in the dry down, it is very close to Hawass and Legend Spirit once again, but more Rasasi Hawass with that kind of muskiness and that kind of ozonic, a little bit of aquatic, but much less aquatic than kind of like fruity, sweet, which I actually do really like. It's super pleasant, especially in the opening. I'm just not the biggest fan of the dry down. I don't typically like musky fragrances. One fragrance that does do musks pretty well is Afnan's Harathi Blue, but this is what musks typically smell like, and I'm not a huge fan of it. But it's not bad at all, especially the opening. It's amazing. When I first got this fragrance, I was at my place, and my parents and my brother got home, and I came down to say hi, and they all smelled me, and all three of them agreed that this smelled really good. And it had been half an hour, maybe an hour since I sprayed it. So that's a good sign because they don't typically like my fragrances, honestly. So it's really good that they like it. They're definitely my harshest critics because they know I can take it. And they know I appreciate the comments for the videos. But yeah, let's go to Fragrantica and see what they have as the listed notes. Alright, so I have Fragrantica notes pulled up for Dumont Nitro Red, and in the top it has apple, lavender, and bergamot. Like I said, that apple, that sweetness is super duper prominent. I can't really smell much lavender, but definitely that bergamot. I think I said earlier that it might have bergamot or citruses. I can totally smell that in the opening. And then in the middle notes, the watermelon. I could argue the watermelon is actually on the top notes, really. It's a super juicy watermelon Jolly Rancher smell. And then the cedar, I can kind of smell, but it's very, very faint. Only if you're looking for it, really. You're just going to smell the fruitiness in the opening and the mid notes, seriously. And then calamus, I don't really know what calamus smells like. But then in the base notes, amber, sandalwood, and patchouli. I can get that amber. Amber is in a lot of aquatic, kind of fresh fragrances. And this also shares that note. And it's always in the base notes because the aquatic notes and the kind of the citrus notes don't typically last very long, and since they come through the top, they go away pretty quickly, so those amber notes in the base kind of make it so the fragrance lasts longer. It also has sandalwood and patchouli, which I can't really smell, honestly. Honestly, I can't smell it at all. Kind of like that cedar. I can smell the cedar a little bit, but not really the sandalwood or patchouli. But really, it doesn't matter that I can't smell those because the stuff that I can smell smells really good. Aside from the deep dry down, I'm not the biggest fan of that, but it's still better than no cologne for sure. Alright, so talking about longevity of Dumont Nitro Red, I definitely think that the longevity could be better on this fragrance. I'm not a huge fan of the longevity. It only lasts around 4 hours maybe, which is not great. I mean, it can last longer, but it gets very, very faint after that, which is very disappointing, but I have a feeling it'll get better over time. I definitely have a good feeling it'll get better over time. In future videos, I'll update you guys if I can. But yeah, for now, the performance is very underwhelming. But for those first 2 hours that you have the opening, it's super duper nice. And those latter 2 hours that you get the dry down, it's still nice. It's just alright in my opinion. But I don't really understand where the hype is for this. The opening is good, but everything else about it for me is just not it. Interestingly, I guess I could have a bad bottle or I could just have a different taste from other people. But I don't think the hype is warranted, honestly, which is a bummer. I always hate kind of trashing on fragrances and saying that they're not worth it because I feel like every fragrance has an opportunity. And yes, this one has an opportunity, but it just isn't the greatest. It's not the greatest in my opinion for sure. Honestly, you could wear this all year round though. Maybe dial it back a little bit in the summer because it's pretty potent, but you could wear this all year round, especially because of the sweetness. It is super nice for sure. People are going to enjoy it. I don't think anyone's going to get mad at you for wearing this. It is super sweet though. Pure sweetness. If you don't like sweet fragrances, this is not for you at all. That's just a warning. I don't really recommend this to anyone, honestly. If you want to try it out, go for it. It's only like 40 bucks. It's a pretty good price for a fragrance, but I definitely don't really recommend it to anyone as their daily or anything like that. Maybe for special occasions where you're only going to be out for 2 hours or so and you want a fresh fruity fragrance, totally go for it because then when you come back you can spray a new fragrance because this one's going to be gone for the most part. So that totally works. But I'm not really going to wear this anywhere, I don't think, anytime soon. I might even give it away. We'll see. But yeah, definitely a letdown of a fragrance. If I was to rate it, maybe a 5.5, a 6. Smells great in the opening, but doesn't last very long, and the dry down is iffy. So yeah, not my favorite. But if you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to comment them down below. If you liked this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I would love to answer any questions that you have. Thank you for all the support we've been getting recently. The channel is growing at a pretty fast rate, so thank you for that. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye.